Greetings, loyal listeners from across the galaxy. You may recall from our last mission log, Nikali was defeated in the crater Colosseum and coerced into the service of a Dulan trader for a few days before returning to the Zaushan on the pretense of casing out the ship, but instead planned with the ship and the crew how to betray his new boss, with Yoshi as bait. After securing their fully charged Keshel crystals, attacked the Dulan trade lords and fled the asteroid, with several ships soon following in pursuit. And now, Dungeon to the Stars continues.
6 ships are following after you. 5 of them seem to veer off different directions, though. And only 1 seems to be in pursuit of you, although you guys left way before they did. They just had time to clear out whatever their belongings were on the planet over, so they were way behind you. You're probably at their farthest range. They're going to try and fire on you from that distance, though, so roll for initiative. I only got a 10.
8.
16?
Yeah, 22 total.
They're at the end of your range, so you're going to take a -4 if you do this to your attack, like outside of your natural range.
Depending on how you feel about movement, I could probably strafe. So, like, expose one facing to him, and then
Yeah, if you want to,
S.
I'll allow that. If you want to strafe so you can fire with one of your side guns, you're still within that range. You said using your long-range weapons, so if you want to do that, and just tell me if you strafe with your port or your starboard side.
Yeah, I'll strafe the starboard side towards him.
Fire one of those pachinkos.
Then it'd be a 17 total.
Alright, so narrow miss. You can tell you fire near it, but your beam explodes in the air nearby without doing any damage. It's going to fire one time at you, but also miss by a broad range. You can tell you guys are like just so far outside each other's range, you're not likely to hit each other. It's like explosions happening near your ships. But there is a message coming on your hailing frequency if you wish to respond, or you can just block it.
Let's respond.
A Dulan appears. A very angry-looking Dulan, and he's making angry hand gestures at you. Crude, mean hand gestures. You can tell that they're not friendly hand gestures at all. And he announces that you and your crew are banned from Dulan trading posts, and anyone within our family will not deal goods with you. And the blue one, Nikali, owes us a blood debt. We will hunt him down.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He keeps making angry hand signals at you and your crew for as long as he can, then he hangs up after a while, frustrated. Transmission ends. He's still following you guys, but it's like I said, his ship speed seems about the same as yours, so as long as you keep going in one direction, he'll be at the same speed to you guys. He seems to be going at his top speed, as long as you guys also travel at your top speed, putting you at a higher risk for incident, but you'll get where you're going faster. They just seem to be following you wherever you're going. You flew towards the sun. You know there's lots of planets in its orbit, and this asteroid, Prison Coliseum, is sort of on the outside of that orbit, but you could try to track towards something you see, or towards something on the map. The big star, labeled as Talos on that star map you guys have.
Talos?
It's the one word you can read. Everything else is in Dulan, but Talos is written in Dulan and also in Common.
Wonder if it's Talos or if it's Tiber Septums. I think we should try to find some sort of terrestrial planet, I say to the crew.
Sure, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we're
Absolutely. Something rocky and civilized-ish.
With less slave-like blue people who try to enslave you.
That would be welcome if there's less of those.
Easiest perception-wise is one planet you can see, also in this outer orbit that's very large, with one moon, surrounded by 2 rings, without having to look at anything else on your maps or anything.
We should go for the more interior planets. Alright, I say we should make all haste to the interior.
So you want to fly closer to the sun? You just want to keep a visual lookout for any other planets that happen to be in orbit on this side of the sun?
Yeah.
It's only about 15 days before you're going to pass into something that might be in orbit, so if you guys want to stay out of your pods, you can just be around that ship, just you have to consume 15 days worth of green points of food. Dulan's still following you, but the same speed you guys are traveling. And there is a planet in orbit, one with 3 small moons, sort of a wild pattern on its surface. Can't tell a whole lot about it without some rolls.
Alright, perception? 17.
12.
Unnatural 20.
Alright, so Zaushan and Nikali will notice that the surface of the planet is shifting in color wildly.
21.
I do nature.
Yes, you do nature.
23.
Welko couldn't see it at first, but does recognize the patterns moving in the style of a swarm. So the surface of the planet seems to be covered in a large enough swarm to be moving to create these visual, beautiful patterns of color.
Let's not go
Can I
there.
tell what's a swarm of?
No.
Very tiny things? Large things?
No, just enough to cover this whole surface of that you can see it from space. You can't tell what it is yet.
But it tells Alshon that, just in case it's like locusts or something that'll just eat you entirely.
Who knows what sort of dangers await us out in darker space? Anything going on the moons?
The moons seem pretty nondescript, just plain asteroid like blank
Okay,
rocks.
So no atmosphere.
No atmosphere, nothing going on, yeah. You could hide your ship
Alright.
there, but you couldn't get out and walk around without suits and protection and stuff. And no
Shouldn't we
no sign
kill
of structure.
Shouldn't we kill and or raid that Dulan ship over there that's following us? I really don't like them following us.
I mean, we could kill them somehow. But what if there's more Dulan lurking?
Well, we flew like 15 days away from any of the other Dulans, right? I vote we tear them to pieces.
Maybe they
maybe-
haven't finished their conversation. Maybe they had something else to say. Or maybe we dropped something and they're trying to give it back to us?
Yeah, no, they're trying to murder. They either want to murder us or they want to tail us so that they can give more coordinates to people who want to murder us.
So perhaps we should bait them into some sort of trap.
We
Well, can't we just kill
screech
them?
to a halt and then turn around and drive back towards them to confuse them?
We would
Or-
have lots of weapons on them at once.
Pretend to fly into the swarm and then actually scoot away at the last second so they go into the swarm?
Perhaps we can fly for one of the moons, act like we're landing, hide in the shadow in the gravity well, and then accelerate on them to fuck them up.
Ah, that
Knock
sounds
out
fun.
their engines and then board them, rip them apart, and then, maybe eat them.
Yeah, I think we're going to bait them into attacking us
Yeah,
on
let's
the far
try
side
and
of one of
lose
these
them.
moons.
It gets closer and closer.
Oh, by the way, I'm at the front gun now. If we're going to be at the front, I'm going to be at the front lands.
I imagine we have time to,
Yeah.
get into positions.
Yeah, roll for initiative.
19?
12.
19.
5.
I also got a 5.
22.
Yeah, and I let Zalshan go before these guys. Well, yeah, they're approaching, but you knew they were coming, so you have the jump on them when they are first within range. They're only in your long range distance right now.
Alright, I guess I'll hop on one of the guns and fire, if that sounds like a good idea to everybody else.
Straight cheddar.
+0, so yeah, it's only 22.
That's a hit, though.
I got 5.
Solid hit.
So there's at least one more shot from that side of the ship, and you guys can take this
Alshon,
turn.
what do I do? Should I shoot them?
That would be wise.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. 9!
So Tomoko misses.
Yep.
I would like to cast Shield of Faith on Zhaoshan.
It says will negates, even though it's harmless, but because Zalshan doesn't know it's happening, I'm going to let Zalshan have a will save, and if Zalshan succeeds, will not get the benefit, and fails, will get the benefit. That'll be the random part of it. So this will only work if Zalshan fails this will save.
13.
Or that negates.
Well, can I
So it doesn't-
swift shield a potion?
Yeah, then Sheriff, that's something you're allowed to do.
Yeah, I'll pour one down a tubule to give our fearless ship +4 to its AC.
Alright, I'm going to attack, not look back. I'm going to attack with the lance.
They're not close enough for lance range yet.
Well, then I'll hold my action until they are in lance range.
I'd like to close on them so that at least the 2-port and the lances in the front are facing.
If you use your move action to fly towards them, you can use 2 of your Pachinko cannons and your front lance if you use this turn to get close enough to them.
Yep, I will do so.
Alright,
And
you
then,
move.
I'll fire on from one of the port ones. So 17.
That is a
You move
miss.
closer?
Yes, I've moved closer.
Alright, well then I guess they're, technically speaking, that's within range, which triggers my action. I've only rolled a 12.
You missed with the lance.
2 12s in a row. Damn it.
They roll a 17 versus your AC, Zalshan. Probably misses
That's a
right now
miss.
with that bonus. Somehow works.
Alright, I will fire off another round with the Pachinko. Dex makes it 19.
I get a reflex save, which I rolled an 18 plus 2,
That'll
so
be it.
20, not natural.
Yep, they're gonna take half of this then. Take half of 6, so 3. Could have been
Oh
worse.
yeah, not bad, yeah.
So, I think I'm just gonna try to shoot this gun again. And we'll see how that goes. 15.
I'm going to open a channel to the Dulons, if Zhaoshan allows it.
Yeah?
And then I am going to cast Hideous Laughter while telling a terrible joke. Hey, Dulons, you should become Don't-Lons.
It's stupid enough, and I rolled half, but I'm gonna let it work. I just roll a will save for them. And I rolled really low. Let me see what their will
Does
is.
the Hideous Laughter work?
I only got a 7, so yeah, it's gonna work. So I want everyone on the bridge to also roll a will save to see if you also get hideous
I don't
laughter.
think that's how that spell works.
I don't care.
Natural 20.
I got a natural 1.
Roll a will save to see
I
if you
find that
laugh.
joke hilarious.
Oh, 19, so 24.
The subject collapses into gales of manic laughter, falling prone.
Oh, great.
Subject can take no actions while laughing, but is not considered helpless.
Oh, shit.
Alright, and that lasts for...
It lasts for 1 round.
You guys bought yourself 6 seconds at least, except for those of you that are also laughing. If you didn't roll
Yeah.
higher than whatever his 10 plus the level of the spell, which is 1, plus his mod, which is probably also a number.
Also a number.
I assume.
With the 24, I don't have to laugh.
You don't have to laugh, no. No, the 24, I
Is
assume.
everyone else laughing?
I am.
Dr. Paracelsus is laughing after his bad joke, and the Dulon on the other ship is laughing.
I'm gonna also slowly laugh.
Like, it's often like
I'll
you're
laugh.
expected to in
I'm not
public.
quite sure why it's funny, but I kind of, a lot of things go over my head, so.
Nikali shakes his head in awkwardness. I'm gonna give it another go. 16. Fuck. Fuck me.
16's a
Rolling
miss.
so low.
So it's time for me to shoot with the other lands. Got a 19.
19, I get a reflex save. Only rolled 11, so you're good, I'm sure.
6.
With the Dulon channel still open, he gets up, he's laughing, he's rolling on the floor, he throws some obscene hand gestures while laughing. The communication channel goes dead again, and the Dulon ship sort of implodes with a splash of color and vanishes. It appears to be gone from where it was. Roll a perception or some other kind of knowledge or some other kind of roll to figure out something from your star map.
I'll do
etc.
a knowledge astrography while consulting the map. And what we've already seen here, cross-referencing 15.
There is another planet closer to the star, probably another month's journey.
Months. Jesus.
What?
Yep, that's the next closest planet, unless you go back the way you came towards that large ringed planet, or the asteroid. But a month from here, towards the star, there's another planet. If you look at the Dulon markings, a lot of the markings seem very similar to the ones from that Prisonoid. You guys just left, roll me maybe a linguistics check.
15.
Yeah, 7.
Argyle will probably pick it up somehow, better than anybody else, even though he's not the brightest. Will somehow intuit, looking at these markings, that the similarity between the planetoid and this one indicate that there's a Dulon outpost on that planet. Like something in the way that the word is written indicates. They always would put that in the prefix of any planet they have an outpost on as this marking. And somehow Argyle picked up on that. So there's going to be a Dulon outpost there, and you know with your current situation, don't know if a planet of the Dulon outpost is the wisest place to go, but it is the closest place to go in that direction.
So I'm going to poorly communicate to the rest of the group that there be Dulons.
We can fly past the star and perhaps see some other shit. Let's do that.
That's gonna be another 3 months, unless you guys are willing to do another 3 months worth of green points. I'll roll to see if anything crazy happens, but I doubt it. Unless you don't get pulled into the sun's gravitational pull and you pass around it, which I'm assuming Xiaoshan's smart enough for that.
Yeah, just, float around the gravity well. You can actually use it to, move faster. It's really hard to fly into the sun, honestly.
Yeah, and even that small planet you passed that had a Dulon post is a very small planet, only maybe a little bit larger than that asteroid that Prison Coliseum was on. So there wasn't a whole lot of traffic or Dulons there to even notice you guys, not any ships around in the space nearby it. So you want to pass by undetected. No problem. When you reach the other side of the sun, roll a perception check.
16.
Also
20
16. 7.
Dr. P can't see shit through his
Yeah.
mask.
Dr. P is probably making potions and stuff again while you guys, after you pass the sun. Tomoka will notice more than anybody else, but you will see 2 planets in the horizon after you pass the big star. There are 2 planets in orbit on this side of the sun currently.
Can I use knowledge of astrography and cross-reference it with the map to see what's up? I got an 18.
They both seem to be free planets. On the Dulon, it's still written in Dulon, but not having the Dulon markings to indicate any kind of ownership or market there. There seem to be free planets on this side of the sun. There's one that seems to be spinning rapidly with your astrography check, and one that seems to be a gas planet.
Well, fuck. I guess we go to the rapid one.
Can I knowledge nature on that?
You
On
may.
the rapid one?
Mm-hmm.
18?
Planet seems to shift rapidly, and so does the flora and fauna and wildlife on it. As you guys get closer, you'll see a large shift in plant life and animal life that happens rapidly. Like plants grow, animals come and mow them down in a very rapid succession as the world spins.
Wow, it's like fast forward nature.
Is this a wise thing to subject ourselves to?
Maybe because it spins so fast, it increases the life cycle, so that means if you land on it, then we're gonna age really quickly?
I don't like the sound of that for
I don't think
my
that's how
charges.
Disney works.
You watch the planet, it seems to have swarms of plant life and then swarms of large locust-like animal life. They sort of follow the rotation of the planet. The dark side of the planet always has the locust, and the light side of the planet always has the plant growth. And as soon as that changes, the plant, the animals follow the sun and devour all the plant life, which immediately grows back.
So I guess there is no, sitting still on this planet. We kind of,
You have to be on the move.
yeah.
And it doesn't look like there's any sort of civilization.
Yeah, it's ruled by life cycle.
While this is fascinating, I don't think this is really worthy of our attention. More than outside of cataloging it.
The only thing over here is that pink gas planet.
Is it gas all the way through?
You don't know, you only see that it's gas on the outside. You could go closer to find out more about it, or do some rolls.
Can I roll something to see what I know about pink gas? That seems like an unusual color. Nature, really, because that's going to be my first stop for everything. 22?
Pink seems like a friendly color, but you also know a lot of colored gases are dangerous, and they're to be seen
That's
as
why I
a,
was
as a
suspicious.
warning. Yeah, color's usually a warning to stay away, although some gases are invisible and dangerous. Many of the visible ones are
But what kind of gas is pink with a 22? Like what?
It's not a gas natural to your world, so you wouldn't know. The gas seems to be radiating around a core nature roll.
Well, I will share that information.
Would I have any knowledge, like history, maybe from my home world, with
Sure.
it being having harmful gases there?
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
So we'll do a knowledge history. That's going to be a 16.
Just by its color, you don't know a whole lot about it. You have to get out and breathe it to know anything about it. But it does seem to be dense, a very dense, hard to see through pink fog. And like Moko says, it is seem to be formed around this core. It does seem to be, it could be dissipating throughout space, but it does seem to be like concentrated around a core of some sort.
I'll relay that info. I don't know what we're going to do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super excited about poison gas planets. I'm used to some pretty clean air.
As you guys get close, the pink gas has more violent storms the closer you guys get.
Yeah, this doesn't seem very good.
Not a welcoming place, I would say.
It gets less welcoming the closer you get to it.
We should get further away from it then.
I think I just have a general detect light.
400 feet plus 40 foot per level?
I don't think you guys would be willing to get that close because there'd be a lot of violent lightning storms.
Oh.
Can I cast it?
Yeah, I mean, you can cast at your range as it works a little differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can try to detect animal or plant life.
Let's look for animal life.
You detect no animal life.
Yeah, I'd say let's get the fuck out of here. I'm looking for animals. I'm looking for things that can make things.
Fly into
Yes.
another galaxy, seeking strange new life, new civilizations.
Unless we can detect any warp energy.
The only warp energy was when that Dulon ship vanished. Maybe if you had looked for it right then, whenever it vanished, you might be able to find a weak pocket, but now you're too far from it and don't see any signs of warp energy here. After you pass the pink gas planet, though, you do see a very large, planet-sized, but obviously man-made ship slowly drifting through space your direction.
Knowledge history.
I'll hop on that too. 19.
23.
17 nature.
I don't think I have any applicable knowledges.
Yeah, I respect that. You're not the guy that's usually thinking about stuff anyway, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so Dr. P and Zalshan, with your history, Dr. P, you will have encountered something like this before. You've been to a space zoo. Things flies around the galaxy, collects different species, puts them on display, charges you admission to check it out, you get some snacks, maybe feed a couple strange animals, etc., buy some souvenirs. Zalshan, you would know the same thing, but probably from a different angle. Take animals...
Giant floating animal prisons, you say?
Yeah. And Tomoko, with your nature roll, you'll know that this place is unnatural. Although it looks like they're trying to replicate natural environments, they're doing a poor job of it. Like, they seem to be...
Almost like a prison. Terrible approximation
see-
of nature.
Yeah, you can see, like, things... Even from space, you can see, like, domes trying to replicate environments for creatures to live in. It's a spectacle. There's some, like, loading bays for ships to fly into to
Why
dock.
would you need to replicate nature? That's ridiculous.
Well,
Is this a
you guys
transport
also do
ship,
that,
or are they saving? Is this like a rescue ship or something?
You don't know their mission statement or anything. It's possible that they do rescues. These could be all animals that were in danger or unable to survive on their planets. You don't know their whole story. To find out their whole story, you'd have to dock and figure it out. So you can dock on this space zoo or let it pass. That's kind of your call. But it's large enough for you guys to park your ship inside of it, if you wish.
Let's take a break. Park.
It seems like we shouldn't, but
Yes, let's go to the animal prison.
Alright, Zalshan, that means you had to park in their animal prison parking lot. You don't have a conglomerate scanner because you're not a conglomerate ship. So as soon as you guys go to parking, you'll be approached by an attendant looking for gloms or some sort of trade to park your vehicle here.
People like glom things too? Weird.
Yeah, gloms are all of it. Even this far out in the galaxy, gloms are still accepted in all these major zoos. Useful form of commerce.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any, so... Trade
I'm gonna project
plants.
a hologram to chatter at him incessantly and at length in Shin Kalhar.
I'll roll linguistics for this poor parking lot attendant droid. Luckily, he's equipped with the latest of translating technology. I got a 20 not natural on linguistics, so he's gonna at least get the gist of what you're saying with the 20 not natural linguistics.
I'm just trying to waste his time, honestly.
Yeah, he's gonna bark back apologetically in your language, so just yipping like a fox, like I'm sorry. He's got the basics. He's doing it with a bad accent, of course, but it is gonna cost you to park your vehicle here, unfortunately. It's only one glom. It's not a very expensive parking lot. They just want one glom to secure your parking, and that way someone's ID is locked to this parking spot too.
Bring them a flower.
Would anyone like to approach this droid with a flower?
I'll do it.
All right, Tomoko, gonna pick a flower and take it out. Mm-hmm. That'd be one green point away from your green points there, Zalshan, and a diplomacy from you, Tomoko, with this droid.
14. 16?
He shakes confusedly.
I smile very wide. Thanks,
Roll-
friend, and I walk away.
Roll a bluff check.
6.
Alright, so he was confused, but as you walk away, he asks you to wait while he appraises the value of this plant product. And he does assess that it is worth 1 glom and apologizes.
I smile and wave again and continue walking away.
The ship is now parked. Tomoko has paid the fee. The bot has recorded you as the owner.
The plant paid the fee.
Well, the
for
plant
us.
paid the fee, but the bot has recorded you as the owner of the spot now since you paid the fee.
Okay.
Whoever else wants to leave the ship can leave it and go check out the zoo. Who all wants to follow Tomoko to the zoo? She's already way ahead of everyone.
I'm going.
Yeah, I'm really Yoshi.
You're gonna let a wild animal into the zoo?
Correct your down.
Alright.
I was gonna follow Tomoko to make sure she didn't get arrested.
Alright, so you all go into the zoo. There's a big parking lot. This parking lot has more ships than that Dulon asteroid did, and they're more varied than the Dulon asteroid. There's lots of alien tourists here, families of all sizes, mothers, fathers, kids.
I want to roll a handle animal for Yoshi.
Probably by the time you leave the parking lot and get into the meat of the zoo, you're gonna have to do that for pretty much everything. If they even allow it in, you haven't got to the gate yet to see if they even allow pets inside.
I just rolled a 21 for
Yeah.
him to be like
He'll follow you up to the gate where all these people are. So
be
you won't,
good, stay with
he
me.
won't eat any children or anything on the way there because you rolled that. But you guys will reach the front gate, and they're not going to allow any outside animals into the zoo for insurance reasons. Might eat something or get into a
It's my
cage or something.
emotional support T-Rex.
Can I clothe Yoshi?
In front of the person at the ticket gate,
No. Go and get out of view of the.
you're going to get out of line. You have to get back in line and wait in line again.
I mean, to deceive them and try to make it seem like
You're going to
Yoshi
somehow
is,
make a four-armed,
same
one-eyed
animal.
dinosaur look like a person. There are all kinds of weird-looking aliens out there, I guess, but
Put it in a trench coat.
usually it's more about based on the creature's intelligence whether they'll let it in. And you can try that if you want. You guys can get out of line and try to disguise Yoshi, apologize, and get back out of line, hide behind something.
I made armor for him.
Is that made of that spider silk?
Yes.
You can put like a gray shirt and pants on. He's looking like he's wearing a sweatsuit now.
Yes.
We got trackies
It
on.
looks like a four-armed dinosaur creature. That didn't change much. You can roll disguise to see. I mean, maybe it goes really well. I meant roll natural 20, but it's gonna be hard to make him not look like a creature that he is.
Handle animal perform.
I did not get a natural 20 on trying to disguise him.
Yeah, then he just looks like a dinosaur in a tracksuit. Argyle's a good tailor, so it probably fits really well if you made it especially for him. I assume you did measurements at some point in time when we weren't paying attention.
Nikali is reasonably impressed with his skills as a tailor.
I'm sure it took the whole group to get this dinosaur dressed in an alley, but after doing so, he doesn't look any less like an animal than humanoid, or he's not going to talk.
All right. Let's go up to the guards again. I have a method for this, and I'm going to spend a martial flexibility to do something hilarious.
All right, so you go back up to the ticket booth.
Hey, you're saying my friend looks like an animal? Do I look like an animal? What's wrong with you?
You do kind of look like an animal. We have rolls.
Intimidate for that.
Yeah, you can roll intimidate for sure.
This is a race card. That's a 14, damn it.
All right, roll too high. They're not gonna bite. They're gonna say, "Well, you can speak. This is obviously an animal. He can't speak. Maybe if you could get him to utter any word at all, we'd buy it. Like, maybe he's just your dumb friend. But we think it's an animal. Animals gotta stay outside. Those are the rules.
Can I cast Echo on him? Cause a sound heard to last. So basically, I could say something and echo, and I can make it sound like the target area is the T-Rex, and it sounds like Yoshi saying it.
Okay, so you're gonna use this spell to make it sound like Yoshi's talking.
I'm not an animal. This is insulting.
All right, roll me a bluff check with it. I rolled a 12 sense motive, so.
19, 20, 21 on a bluff check.
All right, they're gonna believe that your idiot son is just an idiot, and they're gonna let him in.
Ah,
So you all are gonna get past. You have to pay to get in now.
dang it.
It's 2 gloms per person,
I don't have any more flowers.
including your dumb dinosaur-looking friend.
Can someone spot me? I do not have gloves.
How many people are there
It's
total?
gonna be 10 gloms total. There's 5 of you.
I'll buy everybody in.
Thank
All right,
you.
Dr. P
Thank you,
swipes his
Dr.
card.
I owe you some flowers.
I like flowers.
Where you swipe your conglomerate card, the conglomerate knows about it, but you've got a record of using your card here now. Going into the zoo, paying for these folks to get in. You guys are now into the zoo. Feel free to walk around, check out all the exhibits of animals that are no longer living, animals that are living,
Wow.
creatures from all over the universe.
This got sad real fast. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that this is what this place was.
Huge slabs of glass between you and them, or cage bars, or large ravines. You can't get too close to them, but you can see them. All manner of bird and fish, and mammal, amphibian, and all other kind of strange creatures from throughout the galaxy. Winged ones.
I'm
Can I
having a
do
hard time
Komodo dragon?
controlling my emotions.
Sure, there's some really cute space alien that's everywhere. All the kids' favorite. But there's big, adorable ones too. There's slimy things, furry things, all manner of creature, and there's plaques about them.
Are there like Neopets there?
Yeah, there's digital animals there as well that you can play with. If you want to play a
Do they
video
have it
game instead of
broken up?
interacting with real pets.
Is it broken up into like different sections, as in like animals you could find in different star systems, solar systems?
It's
Or is
more
it just
it's
like-
more broken up into environment. So it'll say what planet it's from, but then it'll say like this type of environment. So they have a lot of like swampy planets kind of all lumped together, even though they may be very different, and one exhibit to the next may look very different. If it's a swampy environment, they have them kind of lumped together for like environmental purposes for their so the machines don't have to work too hard, keeping that many separate environments apart. So if it's a cold environment, those are all lumped together. If there's swamp creatures, they're all lumped together. If there's desert creatures, they're all lumped together. But basically, any environment has a plethora of space creatures in it and plaques about them. And the ones that don't have living creatures have like taxidermied versions and still have plaques about creatures from that environment. Usually with a short description in common, not a whole lot of information, and something written, the same thing written in the language of its home world.
Another question. Would I be able to walk around all the exhibits basically and look for creatures from the Talos sector? So we can maybe figure out what some of those things were that we saw on all those other planets?
You may. You can.
Good idea.
That's a very good idea. You can do that. Knowledge local, maybe?
Knowledge local? Sure. Oddly enough, I have a good perception. Can I just perceive and like walk around and like, just
I'll
look
allow
at
that as
everything?
well. Perception's fine also. It might take a little bit longer. Knowledge local would let you find it on a map. Perception lets you walking around looking for it.
I've got knowledge local as well, so yeah, might as well roll that one. It's fine. That is a 19.
Yeah, you're able to spot all that stuff, like I said, because everything is labeled about where it's from and stuff. Because of this museum is labeled so well, and the displays are taken such good care of, you're able to find some Telosian species that you saw on your journeys, from the giant locust creatures and some of the same plant material that they have a fake light source that comes on and off, and the locusts come and ravage the plants, and then the plants are growing. It's a simulated environment for that creature, just like the planet you just passed. There are also matter eater swarms, which are these vibrantly colored different swarms and rust creatures that create rust, and then the matter eaters come along and devour them. Another whole ecosystem they've replicated. Those are the two systems you recognize that you passed on the way here.
How dangerous do the locusts look? Like, if we wanted to go back there and maybe check it out, like, do we think we can handle them, or are they just like flesh eating? Does it say what they eat, or
Yeah, the sign says they just eat plant material, so you're not in danger of being eaten by them unless you're a plant, but they do come in such large numbers you could get trampled or overrun by them, because they are large. They're quite, they're the size of humans or horses, so I mean, they could overrun you. Although they're not trying to eat you, they could accidentally, crush you to death. They have a really cool display here, and they actually they want you to throw your garbage, so if you buy any snacks while you're here from the various pretzel vendors and stuff like that, if you want to spend some gloms, if you have gloms, you can buy yourself a snack at the snack bar. A soda, anything you like, a souvenir, a little fun hat with the name of the zoo on it, which is just a word in this alien language, and then the word in common zoo. You guys don't have the language that this zoo is run by, so it's unknown to you what it says. But yeah, you can buy a shirt, a hat, whatever you like, but if you buy snacks, they encourage you to throw your trash into this vortex, like those things you put a penny in and it goes around a circle like a funnel, and then it goes through a hatch into the display where the matter eaters are kept, and they devour all the trash, so it's a zero waste facility. That way any trash you create, you just throw in there, and the matter eaters devour all the trash. So if you have any empty cups, empty bags from your chips you got, wax paper from your pretzel, anything like that, just toss it in there. Enjoy watching the matter eaters just devour it.
Can I do a knowledge engineering check to see what their enclosure is made of, or would I need to roll something different? for
Engineering's
that?
fine.
I want to know what won't a matter eater eat. Is
Yeah.
what I'm kind of trying to get at here. 25.
Alright, seems to be really thick planes of like a plastic glass, and they do seem to be eating it, but they have crews that constantly replace it as the matter eaters continually eat through it.
Couldn't you just use like an energy field or something?
They don't have that kind of money, man.
Man, they gotta do that 24/7 too. Damn.
Big job.
Oh.
If those get out, that could ruin everyone's trip here. So it's a big job. They have a whole lot of their budget is spent on plastic glass. They have a whole level of this facility just for plastic glass storage. That's why they take gloms, because the conglomerate's their supplier for plastic glass. If they don't have it, the matter gets out, it ruins the whole zoo.
It'd be a shame if they would get out. It'd be a real shame.
All your animal friends would be dead.
Are there any sandworms?
You go to the desert section and look for sandworms. You can roll in knowledge, local, or perception to go track those down if you like. Also, if you see this other stuff.
I would love a sandworm leather hat. I got a natural 1.
Yeah, you don't know where that shit is. You don't even know where to begin looking. You can tell everybody that's what you want to go look at. But, like I said, unless you want to separate from the group, maybe that just means nobody else wants to go with you and you don't know where it is. You can't read a map because you're not very bright. But currently you don't know where the sandworms are.
How tall is the ceiling?
Depends on the area you're at. If you're near the antimatter chamber, it's probably a 50-foot high ceiling. It's a tall room. You have to drop the matter down from the second level down to the first level. It has an overlook.
I am going to take to the skies.
Well, you can fly up. So there's like a little glass domed area over the whole enclosure if you want. You can fly around in it.
A glass dome,
Yeah,
that seems markedly unsafe.
Other tourists will start gasping. Security will start yelling at you to get down.
Yes, I'm going to yell. I'm trying to find the sandworms. Where are the sandworms?
Diplomacy.
Out of 4.
Alright, so you can see the guards now reaching for their weapons, and they say, if you come down, sir, we'll tell you where the sandworms are. You just need to come down right now.
Alright.
Before you get hurt, before you hurt yourself.
I slide back down.
They immediately surround you. They're going to try to C&B you if you want to roll for initiative. I only got a 10 for the guard. I'm
I
also rolling
got
pretty low.
a 19.
Yeah, so you can see he's going to grab you once you land if you want to do anything about it. Your group is all, of course, nearby and can see this and interact if they wish, but may or may not want to.
The colleague puts his hand to his face again.
I am going to run away. Yes, towards the ship.
Alright, so Argyle flees. You guys can stay in this area or follow Argyle. What does the rest of the group do?
I'm gonna have a friend.
Alright, go spend a glom on a pretzel if you like. They're only 1 glom.
Before you guys cut out, I was asking Tomoko if she wanted to. Would you like to rob this place? Would that make you feel better?
Rob? Why?
So it's like, well, I mean, because they're imprisoning animals. We can't, like, get the animals free, but we could at least rob the zoo.
Wait. These animals are in prison?
I mean, that's what zoos are, right?
I don't
At least
know.
that's what
Very
Well, if it's
confusing.
anything like our zoos on Omeyokan, it's mainly they shock the animals a lot and then get them to do tricks. And then and it's kind of like a rewards scenario, kind of like stick and carrot kind of deal, but there's a lot more stick than carrot.
Yeah,
They're also pretty deadly creatures, and sometimes they get loose inside the zoos.
Can I talk to an animal? And,
Well, they're through very thick panes of glass, so it might be difficult. You can try.
can we,
Can you think of an animal that you'd be able to talk to even through a thick pane of glass?
another fox?
Think this through like body language? You want to find a fox-like creature?
Yeah.
Probably knowledge local or perception to find a fox-like creature you think you can communicate with.
14.
You can find some creatures that are sort of mammalian and fox-like, but you have trouble communicating with them through the glass. Even when you're able to bring a group around to them. You try to make faces at them and they just look confused at you.
Or even
You could
cast a
sense
spell.
motive on them.
You can try to cast a spell through the glass if you like.
Okay.
What do you try to cast?
Speak with animals? You can ask questions and something.
Personal range, that's the same problem you have as the glass blocks that. So the same barrier causes the same problem with that spell.
Well, what about one where the glass is, like, thin, or that they're...
There are some that are bars and some that are like ravines. You could try to find some creatures in those. Those aren't fox-like creatures in those types of enclosures.
That's okay. I mean, this spell would probably work with any animal, so...
You can find some more bird-like creatures more easily if that's something you want to try.
Sure, I'll do that.
You just want to go make call noises at a bird?
Yeah.
Alright, give me some call noises. What are you asking?
I'm asking them, is this place a prison? Are you here against your will? Do you want to leave?
They'll call back. They get 3 square meals a day. Nice place to sleep. Could be worse.
Is that just
They
you
can't
or
leave.
all of the animals here feel
The ones you're talking to feel like they get food.
I
they
asked
get
the
places
birds
to-
that. Does everyone else feel the same way?
Well, they don't talk to everybody. They only speak bird, but as far as they know, they're okay with it. They get fed, they have a place to rest. Semi-habitable environment. I mean, no one ever attacks them. It could be much worse. They get free food. People leave food in piles for them.
We get to go and exercise once a day.
Yeah, they get yard time too.
They get free cable.
I guess it's kind of difficult to liberate these animals, though, because not all of them... Like, what do we do with them once they're liberated?
You
Oh, I
gotta
did not
ship,
say
and
we
you gotta
free
take care of
them.
them.
Yeah.
A whole other problem to deal with after that.
Sounds like quite
Yeah.
the headache to liberate these animals.
Yeah, and the birds you're talking to are human-sized birds, so it'll be like feeding 2 more human creatures on your ship.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not saying we rescue the birds so much as we rob this place to teach them a lesson. Yeah,
Of
teach
what?
them a lesson.
What are we robbing them of?
Gloms, dude. What makes the world go round?
Gravitational forces?
Roll a handle animal on Yoshi as you guys are handling these birds, and there's only a cage separating you, and he's starting to get a whiff with them, and he's a wild animal, not a talking creature. He's supposed to be allowed here.
20 not natural.
So you get him to calm down with that. Luckily, Tomoko's great with animals. Tells him not to bite at those nice bird creatures.
I don't think we can stay here much longer. Or at least me and Yoshi can't.
Yoshi getting hungry.
Alright.
I'm afraid
Well,
he's
you
going to
wanna
cause
go?
some chaos.
Smelling those pretzels, seeing all these birds.
I'll give him half of my pretzel.
He'll snack that right up. He'll toss it in his big old mouth. His sticky tongue will grab it up. Ow.
He enjoyed it. He loved it.
He could probably just
How tall is he?
snatch a bird up.
Oh, he's probably about 7 foot tall.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7
Oh,
feet.
he's smaller. He's smaller than I am.
For now?
Yeah, for now. He gets bigger though. Well, are Yoshi and Tomoko, you guys gonna dip?
I mean, he's alright for a hot minute, but we can't hang out for a long time, so I don't know what this little plan of yours entails entirely, but...
I was just asking if you wanted to do it. It's okay if you don't.
I mean, gloms are not a big motivation for me, so I'm not the right person to gauge the temperature of the room with.
Well, I guess the main thing would be I would get gloms and you would get to screw over a person that's imprisoning animals.
I
Probably.
mean, if you wanted to shut this place down, I mean, I got bombs, I can blow some shit up, but I think that's just going to piss people off. So,
Yeah, I want money, not general destruction right now.
how are you
later.
going to get how and where?
Yeah, exactly. So that involves like an incredible amount of planning that we don't necessarily have
We
for.
can go back to the shipping plan, but we have to pay to get back in, I assume.
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
a day.
If you guys just want to take gloms from somebody, why don't you just rob the parking lot robot? He's alone, and he just gets one glom after another from tons of ships. How many gloms do you think he has inside of him right now? And flowers, I guess.
Any kind of physical object that you barter with those robots, they have to store on them. So they could be containing some items, depending on how many people didn't play with gloms. So if you have a lot of Dulons in there that pay more with trade, or any other creatures that pay more with trade, there'll be some droids carrying around some. There's no way to guarantee that. You could blow up a parking lot droid and his belly could be empty. And then you just piss off
Especially since
the
there was
local
one
authorities.
glom, there's
Yeah.
probably nothing going on there.
Yeah.
Plan is we want to leave. Don't want me to set up a bunch of bombs and release the matter eaters, I'm guessing?
Nope.
Okay,
That
fine.
kind of sounds
Well,
like all the animals are going to get eaten.
they would just eat everything here, including all the animals.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly. Problem solved. Put them out of their misery. You're welcome.
Hey, he's got a good point there. I like the way that you think, Dr. P.
They don't seem miserable, though.
That's a good point. Okay. I got nothing else for us to do here if you guys want to mosey.
Yeah, I got nothing going on.
guys
I'm mainly interested
board the
in
Zhao
gloms
Shan,
for
report back.
killing.
Alright, you guys all reboard the Zhao Shan. Tell Zhao Shan how it went. Zhao Shan, you get a full briefing on this prison for animals. You can talk to everybody about your feelings now if you want, now that everyone's back.
Alright, well, now that we're back in the safety of our ship, without people overhearing us, want to rob the parking droid?
I mean, yeah, but it's like a risk versus reward. Would we really get anything out of it? Then I would argue that probably. Yeah,
I would like to do a perception check for warp energy in the parking lot. That's an 18.
You don't see any visible warp energy, nothing like you usually see those bright colors, like the rip in the space you saw before.
Are there any ships small enough to steal?
Many of the ships in the parking lot are the same size as your ships. To steal it, someone would have to get on board and actually steal it. So
I mean,
yes,
that
if you guys
could
want
be
to have
fun.
2 ships.
But I'm assuming they probably have like a tracker on that or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd be great if we get a warp drive.
I can stealth around and do a little recon.
That sounds good to me. I mean, I can't stealth
Like
at all,
some
so you'd have to do it that without me. But I'll stand outside.
Yeah,
the
he's a
ship.
big blue guy. He's pretty easy to spot.
Yeah, I'll stand outside our ship and look out for you.
Yeah, I might need you to make a distraction or something like that if shit goes down.
I'm gonna let you stealth around, but as long as I don't roll higher than a 20, you're good. So even if you take a 20, you're gonna get spotted sneaking around. Of course, you're gonna pass by ships. Ships have sensors, lights are gonna come on and stuff. Like alarms are gonna go off when you start sneaking around the parking lot. People come out of the tops of their ships, start yelling at you for sneaking around. Flashing lights come on.
I'm gonna bluff and say, well, where did I park my ship again? It's a 10.
Oh, I rolled higher than that, so they just point you away from their ships basically, and just tell you to, stay away from over here. And they point their guns at you. Some of them point their ship's weapons at you, which is kind of overkill.
I will go back to the ship. Sorry, guys. Well, I'll tell everybody that idea didn't really work out very well. Any other plan?
You can roll a quick knowledge engineering for the couple of ships you did walk by while you were out there if you want, Dr. P.
It's a not natural 20.
Alright, a lot of them seem the minivan equivalent of spaceships, nothing special. You know that a lot of the ships that have warp drive are either Dulon or Conglomerate. They're ships that have a lot of money. And these ships don't seem to be that. It seems to be a pretty cheap zoo with a pretty cheap crowd. A lot of the ships here, even the ones that did set off alarms and stuff, they were definitely proximity alarms. They weren't expensive. It was definitely families guarding their vehicles. They were sleeping in their vehicles, things like that. So they weren't very fancy ships. You don't think that if any of these ships have warp drive, it would be a surprise.
we're barking up the wrong tree on this one here, guys. So, could I do like a knowledge local to see where the ship planet is heading?
There's some kind of kiosk about it. So yeah, a local or a geography.
There, I got the same bonus for each one, so I'll do geography. How about that? That is a 16.
Alright, it currently seems to be going back the way you guys came, but it doesn't seem to go much further before it turns around and goes back the other direction. So it's going to go around the star you guys just passed, and after that it's going to circle back and travel through several other galaxies in the other direction, closer to Galactic Central Point. So if you guys want to go closer to Conglomerate, follow it back around the sun. If you want to go farther away, go the other direction. Depending how you guys
What if we
feel
just
about Conglomerate.
go away on the ship, let it carry us a bit closer to civilization?
You've paid to park, and judging by Dr. P's experience, plenty of people like park their ships here and just like camp out.
We have a free ride basically, but we're gonna kill a bunch of time going around the sun, going back to the came.
So if you guys want to spam the time and hop into stasis and just wake up whenever the ship gets somewhere interesting,
I'm on board with that. We have a free ride.
and then that won't cost Zalshan any green points or anything if you guys go into stasis. Live in a zoo parking lot for a while.
So it's like an RV park. Can we get to know some of our neighbors?
Well, you guys are in stasis, so no. If you guys were in stasis, possibly, but you guys hang out in stasis for the majority of it. I think that was the agreement. You made Tomoko, I guess you could get out occasionally and work on the plants. But you guys can have like a once a month that you come out and have a meal and hang out with the neighbors and do stuff. That's fine with me if you guys want to do that. If you want to let them out once a month for a meal and to walk around the trailer park and to stretch their legs and take care of the garden and stuff, that's probably wise for your warden at least.
Yeah, we can do that.
Alright,
we
so
got one person to stay awake at all times to keep Zalshan company.
you just gotta feed Tomoko all the time if you want.
I spent 100 years by myself. I'm good.
Once a month or so, Zalshan will wake all you guys up. You'll all get a vegetarian meal, stretch your legs, make whatever stuff you want to make in 8 hours, hang out with those other people in ships nearby. You can make friends, whatever you want to do in this spare time. You guys have lived here for a while now. Your ship's recognizable. Anytime the Zalshan stays parked for long, things start growing on the outside of it. So now moss and flowers are starting on the outside. Started rooting into the parking lot even, so it's gonna have a harder time taking off now. The longer it sits anywhere, it sort of grows into a space. You guys wake up once a month for several months as the ship rounds the sun, comes back around.
Can part of the reason that I'm waking up once a month is to go and prune his feet?
Well, you want to come? Yeah, you can take care of the roots if you want. You can take care of the stuff in the arboretum and take care of the roots. You know what to do. You're a warden. You know how to take care of a ship. You guys will edge this galaxy, which was a pretty boring one. You'll come back out of it and swing into the next galaxy, where you will first notice the zoo is passing a water planet. And you'll notice it on a day that everyone's awake for your normal once-a-month meal. Let's say at this point in time you guys have had 15 months, so you can do 15 meals for 5 people if you want. Figure that out green points-wise. 15 months, 5 people, 1 meal a month.
15 months? Jeez.
Yeah.
15 months.
Is there a map at the zoo? Is there a map?
The map of the zoo is
That's
only
outside
for the zoo, and the planet it has some maps of the areas things are from, but since you guys have no idea where you are, there's no way to relate any of the maps in the zoo to your area.
But they wouldn't be like, we're at the blank blank planet. I could look for the blank blank planet on a map.
They don't announce anything you're passing, unless it happens inside the zoo. They announce like the time they're feeding stuff. They don't tell you what
Could
you're
I
passing
ask the
outside.
guy and be like, what planet is that we're outside of right now?
The parking droid?
Alright, no, I could ask like one of the guards at the front, or a person walking to the zoo.
You can ask anybody. You want diplomacy and just ask a random person?
Is that really diplomacy? Wouldn't they just tell me?
I mean, maybe they'll be frightened by you. You're a big blue scary guy. They might just run away from you. That's why we have roles in this game, to see how things turn out.
Alright, well then I'll do a martial flexibility and intimidate them to tell me.
Oh, for smart move.
Since we're gonna do this anyway, what planet are we at? And that's a 28.
He's very frightened, and he's also very dumb, and so he doesn't know, and he runs away.
Do you guys just want to leave this zoo and then cruise around this star system and see what's what?
Sure.
I guess.
Probably wouldn't take us that long. We could always get back to the zoo and put y'all back on ice.
It's a pretty slow-moving ship, yeah. You feel you could probably swing out and check out this water planet. As long as you didn't stay for a long time, you can get back on the zoo if you didn't like this planet you're checking out.
I'm on board with that.
Mount up for Waterworld.
Take off out of the parking lot. Remember to come back in parking. It's going to cost you a glom, or something. But you guys take off. Check out this water planet really quick. You guys zoom around close enough to perception it. I'll let you guys just take a 20 once you get close enough. It seems to be a water planet with a misshapen stone-like core. There do appear to be living fish-like creatures on this planet.
Is there a civilization on this planet?
That would take a roll of some sort, yeah.
Can you do nature?
Nature would tell you something.
11. Because I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
I got a
I don't
big
know
nature.
anything.
Like Zaoshan and Dr. P know more than Tomoko. Tomoko just sees big fish. You guys will see that these big fish do have, some sort of society set up, yes. Primitive
So
society.
Pelican's on the surface?
It's a primitive society, but they live on this water world with a stone, sort of like misshapen stone maze in the middle of it.
I mean, that's cool.
The creatures are about 25 feet long, really big fish creatures with tentacles, 6,500 pound, really big. Once you guys get close, you can see how big they are moving around in the water.
Is Zalchan going to?
Then yeah, I'll take us down into the ocean.
Alright, you can only stay under the ocean the number of your con mod unless you have an actual
Wild shape?
Yeah, you can use wild shape to become an actual fish creature.
Yeah, we're like a boat.
Yeah, you can swim around. These big fish creatures are around. They
we
seem to be
are.
avoiding you currently when you're around. They seem to dive into the core of their world. It's like maze-like rock structure. They seem to be swimming around the water in the surface, and whenever you come around, they vanish into those holes.
I was gonna give Zaoshan a potion of comprehend languages to see if he could pick up on some whale noises and tell us what they're saying. But if they're running away, there's really not much of a point.
You can see, when they run away, that you can see there are three fish-like eyes, like poke up out of the holes they disappear into. So they disappear, but they're still curious.
As I'm like retreating from some, and I perceive them when they poke up their three eyes.
You can perceive them.
Alright, and then I'm going to cast dancing lights in the shape of three eyes.
Alright, let's roll for initiative.
Oh shit. Son of a bitch. 13.
I only got an 11.
23.
2. I got a 9.
So, as always,
I only got an 11.
23. Oh, Argyle. Holy shit.
2.
Doesn't even happen.
You'll see these creatures all popping up eyes, like there's a bunch of eyes now watching you guys.
I'm going to jump into the land, and I will delay my action until what I would consider a hostile move.
I mean, I don't want to fight, clearly.
There's
I just
many
want
ways
to talk,
out of
man.
any situation.
I'm going to delay my action until perhaps Dr. Paracelsus pours a potion of comprehend languages into a flower.
Well, you have to wait till after their turn. So I don't know if you would consider this a hostile action or not, Nikali, but I need everyone to make a will save.
I guess I would react after the will save.
16.
15.
9.
Dr. P?
15.
Alright, if you got 15 or lower, for the next 2 rounds at least, maybe more, you were fascinated by the colors, the shifting pattern of colors emanating from these creatures' eyes. While you were fascinated, you took a -4 on skill checks as reactions, such as perception checks. Potential threats allow you a saving throw, but you're not threatened right now. A fascinated creature's ally can shake you free as a standard action, so yeah, unless someone shakes you free or unless something is a threat to you.
I'd whisper,
And you can take no other actions other than pay
Zaoshan?
attention to the fascinating effects. So if you're fascinated, all you can do is stare at these colors.
Off-throttle pops up by Nikali and says, "Yes."
fire,
No.
and he doesn't do anything. I am fascinated.
Man, Zaoshan, you're the only one not fascinated?
Correct.
Do you want to? You can shake. Luckily, you can shake everyone all at once. If you want to try and shake the crew awake, it just requires you to shake the ship a bit. Maybe jump out of the water.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to climb just a little bit, so I'm just above the waterline.
All right, roll me a climb check to do that, and maybe an acrobatics to shake real good.
Alright, got a 22 to climb. Just above the waterline is fine.
That's fine with me.
Then a 12 acrobatics.
So I just need everyone to roll a perception check. 12. You gotta beat a 22. You roll.
Got 24.
Yeah, then you can
14.
you can be shaken awake.
19.
a natural one.
Yeah, so you're still fascinated as fuck. So a couple of your crew are still just like staring at these weird colors emanating from these creatures' eyes. They don't seem to come very far to the water. They still seem to be poking their eyes out of these holes in the ground beneath the water. It's huge metallic core.
So since I'm awake and everybody else is fascinated, can I do a swift action, pouring comprehend languages into a flower? I'll do my move action to move over to Nikali and try to shake him awake.
Perception check. 17. Woo.
Yeah, you can be awake.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Snaps you out of it. You're no longer staring at the colors. You're looking at Dr. Paracelsus shaking you.
Damn it, those fucking creatures.
That's it for me. Xiaoshan, let us know if you hear anything on the waves, so to speak.
Will do.
You hear a choir of music coming from the creatures that are making these weird colors. They seem to be
They're
singing.
siren
They
whales.
seem to be singing a praise song to themselves.
To themselves.
So they're narcissistic siren
They're
whales.
basically just talking about how awesome they are.
Yeah, the song, the words you're able to pick up in their common languages, they seem to be referring to themselves as gods.
This is sacrilegious.
Well, let's capture one and take it to the nice animal prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we hoist one of these? I don't know how that would work out. They're pretty big, right?
They're
Yeah.
huge.
We can't find a planet for shit. A civilized planet for shit.
There's a lot of really fun giant fish creatures here who think they're gods.
Oh, fuck this thing. I think we should go back to the zoo.
You guys fly your ship back to the zoo. It's going to cost you another glom or something of trade to park your vehicle again.
Yeah, we can deduct the flower.
Tomoko, do you want to go diplomacy another droid with a flower, see if you can trick him into letting you guys park here again for a weed?
It's not a trick, and that's not a weed.
A weed is just a flower in the wrong place.
I rolled a natural 1 again, so
Yeah, this time he turns down your flower. He's able to properly appraise your flower this time.
he's already got one now.
Yeah, this is no longer a rare item and no longer worth a full glom.
I'm gonna give it to him anyway.
He will accept it, but he's basically going to feed it to the matter eater later, so he still needs something that's a glom or worth a glom.
How about a different flower?
You want to go back inside and get some moon kelp?
Yeah, because I think last time we were able to trade moon kelp for cashew crystals, and
So this time you come outside with some good shit this time.
Yeah, I'm making some interesting connections between
Alright.
what's worth money and
How
why.
many
give
green
me some.
points worth of moon kelp do you want to take out?
1,
Alright, you take...
2, 3.
That's a lot more than 1 glom, dude. Don't do it.
Just let me give him a glom. Let
Yeah.
me give him a glom, guys.
Yeah.
We'll
When Dr. P insists on paying, and he goes outside and swipes his card. The
Yeah.
droid attendant thanks him. You guys now have this spot reserved.
You're a saint, Dr. P.
You know, park your car at this zoo as it flies.
Anyways, so there's no
Farther
reason
and
for me
farther
to
away.
not give them money. I understand that you guys not wanting to give money, but I'm already swiped. They know I'm here, so.
Your cover's
Well, I
blown
don't
if
have
you
any
need a
money.
cover.
I lost it all gambling.
I don't have a glom chip.
I don't know why gloms are a thing.
You guys
I have
pass this
money.
watery planet through a solar system. It's going to be several months before you encounter anything else. You guys will go back to your once-a-month routine of everyone sleeping and coming out once a month to eat
Sounds
for a
good.
special meal. You guys
Yep,
go back
sounds
to your
fine.
regular routine of drifting through space in a zoo parking lot. Parking lot
Truly, we are
drifters.
gods among friends.
Zaoshan can alert you when you guys near the next planet. It won't be on a meal day, but Zaoshan can still wake you, or Zaoshan can scan it first to see if it's interesting before she wakes you. It's kind of Zaoshan's call.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the second one. I'm gonna
Scan it first.
There's no reason to wake everybody up if there's nothing to do.
Yeah, you
there.
can do me the perception or some knowledge rolls, whatever you like, to figure out what's going on
I'll
this
do
next
a
planet.
perception at first. The 13.
The planet seems to be covered in an amorphic fluid, either water or ooze or some sort of. It seems like a gooey snot ball of a planet.
No. No.
Alright, you ignore that and let everyone rest for a couple more months. 6 more months pass.
Jesus.
You guys pass another small planet. Seems to be mostly stone. Some signs of life.
I do a knowledge astrography to see if I see any ships coming towards it or anywhere around it. It's 18.
You don't see any signs of technology. The life there seems primitive. No ship seems to be coming or going from it. Some of the rumors from around the trailer park, if you do let your group out around this time, they come out once a month, so maybe around this time they'll come out. It's a shub planet, a planet of primitive people. So there are creatures there, but they're primitive creatures. You guys can be close to this planet for several days, drifting by it. So Zaoshan's known about this planet for several days before you guys wake up. When you finally wake up, Zaoshan's already thought about it for several days and points it out to see what you guys think. So the atmosphere doesn't seem to be incredibly friendly. Dr. P might be able to handle it, everyone else might have some trouble. Not poisonous, but heavily polluted atmosphere. But the
Hey, I
pollution
gotta-
seems to be emanating from inside the planet's core. There's no signs of civilization on the surface, but there are signs of trash piling up outside of cave holes. So there might be some civilization underground.
Let's go check out the trash planet.
Alright.
Yeah, we're gonna leave the zoo.
Alright, it drifts slowly by. As long as you guys aren't gone for very long, you probably catch back up with it. Like I said, it moves pretty slowly. As long as you guys don't spend more than a week or two on this planet, it shouldn't be hard to get back aboard. So you guys shouldn't have a problem finding a place to land. This planet is just all just rocks with holes. So as long as you don't park in a hole, you can park on a rock. No big problem there. And near a lot of these holes in the rock seem to be signs of human waste. Feces, trash, other things piled up around the exits of these holes.
Gross.
Yes, but indicating there is some species underground. Now, all the holes are too small for the Zaoshan to fit through. The Zaoshan can park on the surface and everybody else can wander around or whatever. Like I said, the air is not poisonous, but it is polluted. So a lot of you will have trouble breathing except Dr. Paracelsus. It'll be thick
I have a
air.
spacesuit.
You can put on your spacesuit and that will help you breathe, I'm sure.
Yep, there we go.
Yoshi has a tracksuit.
You can be sporty as hell as a dinosaur.
It can be sporty polluted.
I mean, Tomoko, you guys have suits too, but unless they're attached to the Zaoshan, they don't provide breathable air for more than a minute.
Well,
If they're attached to the Zaoshan via Vine, they provide unlimited air to you, but then you have to
I'm going to cast
stay within range.
air bubble.
over my
I
head.
was gonna say, can I do air bubble?
You can cast air bubble if that's a spell you
Inside?
have. I'm gonna let both the weirdo and the druid cast air bubble. Maybe you see the druid do it, you're like, I can do that, and you don't even know why you know you can do that. But you do come from the same material as her pet, from the same planet, so some of that same Shin-Kelhar magic lives within you. You guys create air bubbles around your head, everyone else puts on a suit, or has a suit built in. You guys go outside and are not bothered by the pollution. You're down the surface of a very polluted rock planet full of holes. It's just gray stone with caves.
I can't be out here very long, but
You can, but it'll just be harder to breathe. Have shortness of breath. It's not polluted enough to kill you, it's just polluted enough to make you have trouble breathing.
Yeah, there are human pollution here.
You won't want to
It's like
exert.
Beijing.
You won't want to overexert yourself, that kind of stuff. But for the time being, you guys have air bubbles. You can wander around. You can go down a hole. You can examine trash. You can do whatever it is you wish to do off the ship. Is the Yoshi coming?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yoshi follows you, Tomoko. So make sure once you get out of range, you'll want to boss it around so it doesn't do anything crazy.
can I detect animals in a cone away from Yoshi?
Yes, the only animal life you detect is this humanoid life that's creating this trash. You would say down these holes is where any life. Nothing seems to live on the surface.
Nothing but them. That's it.
It seems to be most polluted up here. You can assume down in the caves is cleaner air. A lot of the polluted air seems to come out up here and like fill the surface of the planet. It comes out of these
20
holes for sure. There's
20
definitely
bucks.
pollution. Pollution is coming out, but it's like settling and grouping here. So the pollution is thickest on the surface.
20 gloms, they don't speak common.
Well, so if Yoshi eats a bunch of these, will they stop making trash?
The ones that he ate would no longer make trash, I'm sure.
I'm not seeing any downsides.
Yeah. So
At least Yoshi's not seeing any downsides.
Yeah,
because
Yoshi's
he just
like
wants to
that's
eat.
probably exactly what Yoshi's thinking. He's like,
Food?
"Huh,
Yeah, there's food down
I
there.
bet if I eat that guy, he'll stop making garbage. And I bet if I eat that guy next to that guy, he'll start making garbage too.
I'm gonna go spelunking.
So how you guys like to go down these holes? What are your how do you just want to like climb checks or just jump down them? I don't know what you guys are into as far as getting down holes.
I have spider.
I have a rope. There's vines on the ship.
I'm gonna fly.
All right, you fly. Tomoko does spider climb with.
I got a vine, and I climb.
Yeah, so you tie that to something. The ship probably.
Yep, that
Climb
seems like
down.
a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah. You guys climb through the trash down a hole. It gets dark down there. Does anyone have any source of light?
See in the dark.
Oh, so you're
So
good.
can I.
Nikali takes off his sunglasses finally since it's dark enough for his eyeballs to adjust.
Yeah.
That little like,
He's only been wearing them for 3 years.
Yeah. If you have dark vision, you're fine. You can see. If you don't have dark vision, you can't see unless it's like right in front of your face. Now, how is Yoshi getting down a hole? Straight drop. So he doesn't really have the greatest arms for climbing.
He has a bonus to climb.
You can roll a climb to let him try to jump against. Maybe you can do like a Mario ninja jump back and forth from one side of the wall to the other.
Is it 18?
So he'll jump. So he'll just be jumping from wall to wall, claws into the stone. That actually helps your people that are. He's probably like jumping ahead of your group. That's leaving them footholds and stuff to climb down in. The ones that are climbing, even the ones using magic to do so. So we'll say with everyone's help, you guys can climb deep, dark down into the hole. And those of you with dark vision can see when you get to the bottom.
Any of us not have dark vision?
Tomoko only has low light,
light.
so Tomoko
And
can't
I
see.
can see some lights.
You can see right in front of your hands. There are no lights in there. There are no lights, but they do have
Fairy.
structures. Once you get down into the tunnels, there are hovels, homes, temples. There are things carved into the stone once you guys have gone down a hole. There's a
So once you
civilization built underground here, but it's completely dark.
Someone should crack some of those glow stick things.
Yeah, touch an object and it glows like a torch.
So you can put it on one of your stones, or you can put it on anything,
Whatever, something.
like stone.
Sure.
So Tomoko puts it on a stone and has lights so she can see 30 foot around you, so you can hold it up. You'll see creatures like ducking into their hovels when you wave your light around. You guys have definitely stumbled upon a civilization of primitive creatures. At first glance, with the light swiveling around, they seem somewhat goat-like.
Bunch of blind, primitive, underground goats? Are you kidding me?
You guys approach closer, you also see their nature seems somewhat tree-like. Sort of like Yoshi's skin looks like bark, theirs does also.
Does anyone speak goat person language?
Well, I'll chug a comprehend language so I can at least understand them, but I can't talk to them. I speak Common, Infernal, Draconic, Elven, Abyssal, and Orc.
Oh, you speak a language similar to Zetlalin, then.
So you would understand the roots, it's like knowing Latin. You understand the roots of Zatlalin. So yeah, if no one has Aklo, the comprehend language, you'll be able to understand them talking to you, but you won't be able to talk back to them. And then what they'll say to you will be very basic. They seem to be very curious of who are you, what are you doing here. Their questions seem to be mostly geared towards that. Why are you in our village, which you can't respond.
I'm gonna
Explain
do
this
charades.
to the group. I don't know, we'll try to do hand motions to simulate a ship landing outside, and then do the little hand over my eyes like we're searching, exploring, that kind of thing. Sign language, but really crappy sign language for dummies.
Yeah, it's a game of charades.
You guys can maybe try linguistics or something with this sign language.
I got 13, so, not the best sign language.
How are your charades, Argyle?
12.
Your charades aren't going great. These creatures don't seem to be enamored to you, or the light that's shining from your friend. One small child crawls out of one of the caves on all fours, very goat-like on all fours, sort of covers its eyes with one hoof as it approaches and sort of like hops forward on 3 legs as it comes towards you.
I'm gonna take the rock and I'm gonna put it kind of under my shirt so that it dims the light a whole bunch.
I need everyone to roll a will save.
Jesus.
Oh no. All these will save.
Natural 20. 21.
Literally the same. I have a natural 20 as well.
I got 18.
Alright, you're supposed to beat a 22, but if you roll a natural 20, I'm gonna let you have it. If you didn't roll a natural 20, you're gonna be confused for the next round. So if you didn't roll a natural 20, roll a percentage die.
23 for Yoshi.
I got 27.
I got some high-ass
Five?
DC confusion.
Oh, no. 5.
As the lights go out, Dr. P starts babbling incoherently.
Well, I'd normally kill someone for this, but since that's probably frowned upon here, I will give him a stern look and point at him with an accusatory finger and say, and kind of growl slightly. Yeah, that's kind of it's totally intimidating. Martial flexibility, but that's a 19, so that's a 29.
Some of this kid be intimidated. He's gonna run back into his cave. At that point in time, Dr. P will stop babbling.
Fucking dick shit.
But now all these goat people are hiding in their caves.
Fuck that noise. Get out of here.
I'm going to cast Guidance and Enhanced Diplomacy, and then I am going to do charades to try to ask if they have anything to trade. I rolled a natural 20.
The young creature will come back out from a hovel, holding a handful of what looks like dung.
What the fuck?
Knowledge nature.
Approve.
Roll it.
12.
Yeah, I'm going to appraise the dung, see if it can be useful for any dyes, maybe.
Well, go for it.
don't
Tomoko
know,
knows
it's
that
like
their
rock
dung seems
steel.
to be a plant material and could be used for a fertilizer, if nothing else, but not an exceptionally good one, just a normal fertilizer.
I got a 17.
You could possibly dye your clothes with it, but then it would also smell like shit.
Alright, well this place is completely worthless. Hey, unless you guys want to murder some goat people? No? So take that as a no.
I would say if a child managed to overpower me. Chances are these guys might have something hidden up their sleeves we don't really know about.
As he's handing you the dung, he tries to sidle up close to you. It's time to roll for initiative again.
Fucking fuck.
I rolled a natural 1, so he's gonna go last.
17.
You can see him like hugging up, trying to get on Dr. P's leg right now.
I got a 17.
Yoshi got a 12.
Sounds like you all get the jump on this kid. This kid's like trying to grab Dr. P's leg, and you guys notice it.
For my swift action, and because I pull the light stone back out of my pocket and kind of like.
Roll an intimidate to scare him away with the light.
13.
So he just runs to the other side of Dr. Paracelsus away from the light into the shadow and still holding on to him. Now looks like he's trying to suck Dr. Paracelsus' butt. He's got a weird tentacly mouth now. It looks like roots coming out of his mouth, and he's trying to like suck on Dr. P's butt.
Oh
Let's leave.
I've never used this yet, but might as well. If he's going to get all tentacly on me, I have a suction cup hands.
You do have sticky
So
fingers.
I've got little suction cups on my bare hands. I will swift remove my gloves and unsheath my suctiony hands and put it on the kid's forehead to hold him away.
You roll a CMB to hold him at arm's length.
Nope. I got a 6 plus not enough, probably. So
He ducks whenever you try to put your sticky fingers on his head. Now instead of putting his tentacly mouth on your butt, it looks like he's gonna suck your balls. Shit just got weird. I don't know if you use your move yet. You can try acrobatics away, and you can be 5 feet away if you want to try that.
sure, I like that idea. I don't have that skill, but I'm going to try it.
Anything to get some weird kid off your nuts.
Ooh, natural 20.
You do not want this kid's mouth on your dick, so you jump back real quick. You can see like roots growing out of his face towards you as you jump back, but you successfully jump back 5 feet.
I'm gonna look at Dr. P and I'm gonna be like, should I fucking flatten this guy?
Oh, hell yes.
So he's going to attempt to turn this guy into pulp. Yeah, that's a 20. Not natural.
That's a miss.
It's a fucking miss? Oh shit.
This concludes our transmission. Please tune in next time for more Dungeon to the Stars. This episode of Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater was sponsored by our fans and friends on Patreon. Donate today. Keep Long Distance Dungeons & Dragons Dinner Theater alive.